Hi, this is Francis Hughes, the editor of Witherburn After School News. If you're a fan of Witherburn After School News and want to support us, a great way would be to join us on Patreon. With a $5 monthly donation, you can get access to ad-free episodes, exclusive content, and our Discord. You can also make a one-time donation on our Ko-Fi and gain access to the Discord along with a special Discord role. You can find the links to our Patreon and Ko-Fi in each of our episodes, or you can go to patreon.com/Witherburn or ko-fi.com/Witherburn After School News. Thank you to all our supporters. We couldn't do this podcast without you.
Good evening, listeners. I hope you're all staying out of the storm. It seems like quite a doozy. One might even call this tornado weather. Dear Lord. Okay, let's get on with the news today, shall we? Today we are discussing how Tina got added to the list of missing. A list that seems to be getting longer with each day. And finals, yeah, those are coming up. All that and more coming up on Witherburn After School News. Start with our most pressing matter. Tina Young was officially added to the missing persons case. Tina has been in some hot water recently. She has experienced a falling out with friends over an insensitive comment and has recently dropped out of the tennis team. Police are claiming that these are clear motives for Tina to run away. I'm claiming that's bullshit. Excuse my French. I'm sorry, but the story doesn't make sense. Tina's parents are saying that she left their house at around 7:30 on Sunday night, going to grab some supplies from the corner store down the street. Just some eggs and some chips. The only thing she brought with her was a tote bag that had her phone and wallet. It should have been a 15-minute trip. But when an hour went by and there was no sign of Tina, her parents started to get worried. Then she wasn't answering her phone and they went to look for her. Yet she wasn't at the store or on the street. The clerk claims she never even came in. So they reported it to the police who, as per usual, threw it in the missing persons folder. The current theory is that she left home and immediately picked up a taxi or hitched a ride. The security footage proves the clerk's claims that she never entered the convenience store. There also seems to be an unfamiliar car that drove by around the time Tina left her house. Police suspect this is the car Tina got into and are trying to track down the owners. For those who don't know Tina, she's a 16-year-old girl of Chinese descent, long black hair that she usually wears in a ponytail. She has brown eyes and is 5'6". She was last seen in cargo pants and her tennis sweater. She also has what others call a strange gait due to an injury as a child. It's specifically not a limp though, just slightly different. As usual, if you have any information, please contact the Youngs or the Witherburn police. I would also encourage you to call Mrs. Calloway, who is currently working tirelessly to get all the missing children back home. She has been a big help to all the families affected by this. I didn't know Tina that well. Honestly, I said things about her I probably shouldn't have. I would be surprised if she's even listening to this, but Tina, if you are, you should come back. Green smoothies and all. The tennis team is holding I don't want to call it a memorial game, but you know what I mean. They're holding it in your honor. All the funds go to your family who is doing everything they can to find you. They're worried sick. I think we're all starting to get sick of this. I mean, we've been hearing about missing person after missing person for months now, and it feels like nothing is getting done. Nothing has been updated about April Calloway's case or Jonathan or Chloe, for that matter. It's like they expect us to forget them. They're not people that can be forgotten. Do you think if Hunter Clark went missing tomorrow, the case would still be cold? I'd be willing to bet good money they would do anything to find him. Yet they sit around doing nothing to find our friends and families. Why? Is it because they don't have the last name Clark? Or is it simply because the police department doesn't think they're worth their time? Come on, Sheriff Sininger, what's the answer? I think we're all starting to see through this mass runaway lie, so maybe, just maybe, you should do your job so you can get started on finding these people and getting them home. Getting our friends home. Jeez. Okay, I'll stop ranting. I'm probably saying what we're all thinking, but there's a reason we aren't saying it. No one wants to think about it. So let's start with our next segment. Mayor Burnham is already calling for volunteers to help with the cleanup of this nasty storm. I'm not shocked. I've already heard that a couple trees have gone down, and I'm a little surprised we still have power. If we do lose power, I'm gonna freak out. The mayor is asking for help from specifically people with powerful lawn tools, think chainsaws and wood chippers. Though if you want to come out and help pick up stray branches and rake leaves, that's also appreciated. The yards of the elderly and people who can't really pick up around their property is going to be a top priority, along with places like the football field and the marina. Technically, it's the state's job to help clean up with this, but we all know they're slow as molasses. The mayor believes that if enough people pitch in, we can have the town cleaned and back in shape by Monday afternoon, which... reaching for the stars, aren't you, Mr. Burnham? I also think it's important to mention that high schoolers are encouraged to volunteer as well, and that you could get off school Monday if you agree to volunteer. I personally didn't know that the mayor could just give you a get-out-of-school-free card, but I guess he can. I don't think he realizes that honors chemistry has a test on Monday, so there's gonna be a lot of students who want to skip that. I'm sure plenty of students will trade manual labor for some extra study time. I hate thunderstorms. I hate them. Okay, let's keep this train moving. How about we move on to Monster of the Week? I think this one's very on theme. Mr. Pickler spouting some nonsense on Facebook about how he's seeing a giant bird in the clouds, only being spotted when lightning strikes. At least this time I don't have to go searching for what Mr. Pickler saw. He told Facebook, quote, "A thunderbird is causing this storm. I see it up there, size of a damn dragon. Y'all are blind if you can't see it, circling around us, waiting to swoop down. It's mad at us for something." Now, there are a lot of mad people in this town, so the thunderbird's gonna have to get in line. But I do think it's a bit of a stretch to say that this mythical bird is causing the poor weather and not, I don't know, the fact that we live in Dixie Alley. For those unaware of the thunderbird, let me educate you. The thunderbird is a creature of indigenous legend that has been spotted all over America. Myths change a bit, but many tribes have stories of a bird so big that a flap of its wings brings thunder, hence the name Thunderbird. Some reports say the bird is more akin to a dragon with a 20-foot wingspan, and others say it's the size of a jet plane. Now, despite this bird being so big, it's actually notoriously hard to see this creature since it's always being followed by a giant storm. Despite the fact that it causes horrible, horrible nights like these, the legend actually says the bird has no ill will towards humans. Though there was one time in the 70s that one allegedly swooped down and tried to take a 10-year-old, but this is the only incident of them being violent. I'm saying incident like they're real. What has this segment done to me? Anyway, if you haven't heard of the Thunderbird, it's probably because its legend is most prominent in Middle America, where many indigenous tribes have a long artistic history with it. Now, devoted listeners, you ask, what's the explanation? And the truth is, I don't have one. Some sources say that escaped African giant condors could be the culprit, but I find that kind of spits on 1,000 years of indigenous legend because that's an explanation that only makes sense for our modern times. I mean, sure, that's a modern solution, but what about sightings from 500 years ago? The only answer I have is that the Thunderbird was a way to make sense of the monstrous storms and tornadoes that only really happened in America. It would explain why this legend is prominent all over the country, though that answer doesn't truly satisfy me either. The stories are just too similar all across the country too. Part of me wants to believe that there's some truth to the legend, though I probably won't be spouting on Facebook about a giant bird. Who knows, maybe there was a bird of North America. One who found the most comfort in the stormy clouds. So there you have it. No, I don't. What? What is coming over during the storm? You know, I'm just gonna let my parents go. Wait. He got stuck at that thing. I'm sorry, listeners. Let me go check on that. Dyce, get me this.
thought you quit your first job. Also, what are you doing out in the storm?
Hey. It did not look like this when I took the shift.
They should have just canceled your shift, and I don't mean to make your job harder, but I don't think I ordered a pizza.
No, it's yours. It's literally prepaid.
That's weird. Thanks, though. I guess I have a pizza now. See ya, and make sure to drive safe.
You too. Bye.
Sorry, listeners. Where was I? Oh, I just wrapped up on Monster of the Week. Let's move on then. The choir is going caroling. Whether you sing like a canary or like a sick dog, they want you to go caroling with them. They do ask that you know at least 7 different classic Christmas songs decently well. Gertrude, that's so vague. What does decently well mean? It's led by Gertrude, everyone's favorite choir director, so you know your voice is in good hands. Anyways, they're going to have practice Monday and Tuesday before they start hitting houses. Also, if people could sign up to bring the cookies and hot cocoa, Gertrude has mentioned that would be nice. I hope everyone has a lovely time. Our last segment is about finals. Yes, it's a dreaded time for all high schoolers. Some people are locking themselves in their rooms to study while others are winging it. But no matter what you do, I'm sure we all have some form of anxiety when that Scantron lands on our desk. So let's go over some tips to make finals just a little less stressful. Number 1, find out what you need to focus on. Some classes are harder than others, so trust your abilities in classes that you have mastered already. Are you a math whiz? Then don't go over those formulas and crack open the history textbook instead. Number 2, study in spurts. Don't overwork yourself. It's shown that you can only really focus for 2 hours before you stop retaining information. Take breaks when needed. If you find your mind turning to goop, then give it a break. Goopy minds are statistically no good. Number 3, some people have taken to making deals with the devil, as they call it. You go out into the woods, draw a pentagram, and chant some Latin. My tip is to not do this. It's stupid and doesn't work. Number 4, sleep is important before tests. Studies have shown that those who study less and get a good night's rest before the test actually perform better than those who study more but pulled all-nighters. Number 5, know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're almost to the holidays. Just 1 more week. That's all I have for you. I hope you all spend the holidays with your families, and I ask that you spend some extra time and effort this holiday season giving back to the community. Lord knows we need it. I also wanted to remind everyone that for finals and Christmas, I'm going to be off the air in order to spend time with my family and to pass algebra. So this will be my last show for a while. I'm the reporter, signing off.
Witherburn After School News is written and directed by Jordan Oliver. Our assistant director and editor is Francis Hughes. The title song is by FutureMe. The reporter is played by Jordan Oliver, and Dyce is played by Miles Hannah.